Hey everyone, it's Will with Military Lawn Cuts, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 signals that you may have a problem customer in your lawn care or landscaping business. My wife and I, we've built 2 locations. We're pushing to do close to $1 million in sales this year. I sat down and reflected on my flight to Alaska because my brother-in-law just got married as of recently. Congratulations to him. I was thinking, I'm like, okay, let me make a video on all of the potential problems that customers can bring to us in our business. And if you're like me, the goal is to build a business that can ideally run without you. You know, if I wanted another job, I would have just gotten a 9-to-5 job, W-2, but we want to build an asset that doesn't give us a lot of headache. We want to make sure that the customers that we do have were actually the good ones, And so how do we clarify that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm confident that if you watch all the way to the end, you will know the 5 signals or red flags, sometimes we call them yellow flags, that we identify when we are talking and interacting with our customers, because not every customer is the same. There's something called an 80-20 rule out there that basically says if you focus on the 20% of the effectiveness of whatever it is you're focusing on, you will get 80% return. And so a lot of people try to focus on the 80%, and unfortunately what that does is it spreads them too thin. And so if you focus on the most important things, you will be able to get a much higher return. And that's what we're talking about today, is focusing on the 20% of that ideal customer. How do we build that avatar out and get that ideal customer that doesn't give us a lot of headaches, that doesn't complain about every little thing, doesn't give our crew problems? That's what we're talking about today. So, got my handy dandy remarkable right here, and we're going to jump right into it. So, number 1, the very first sign that you will see is very simple. They complain every time. No matter what team is out there, no matter what crew, no matter what weather, no matter what service, there seems to always be a generalized problem. Grass clippings left on the lawn. He or she didn't like the way that our crews looked. They were messy and dirty, and their uniforms weren't clean, and they don't like the way that their hair color is, right? There's always a somewhat of a complaint every single time. Doesn't matter what crew is there. These are the type of customers that will bog down the office side or admin side of your business, constantly sending emails, sending pictures. There are legitimate problems sometimes. I'm not knocking that, and I'm not one to think there's never, our crews are perfect. But if it happens on every single visit, that's when it definitely becomes a problem. Number 1 is they complain every time. And you know how you get rid of this customer? Very simple. You say, look, Susie, I'm just going to say Susie for today. Susie, it seems as though as our service that we provide to you, my goal is to bring you the best quality of service, and we are falling short each and every time on the service. So what I would recommend to you is getting somebody that can be a personalized gardener for you to really make sure you are happy with the services, because right now it seems like you're not. That's the easy way to kind of let them go. It's funny, I've used that tactic before, and the customer was like, "So you're firing me?" In a very nice way. I didn't tell her this, but in a very nice way, we're just not a good fit. Because if we keep getting complaints, it doesn't make sense. We're not making any money. It's like we have to bake in an additional cost to just know that the crews are going to have to go back and fix something that's very simple. All right, number 2, signal of a potential problem is going to be that the customer starts to all of a sudden make demands. All right, these are the customers that are like, look, I only want you here on Tuesday afternoon. And it's like, well, all of our crews try to get all of their routes done mostly in the mornings because it's cooler out and stuff like that. And so if you're demanding that we can only come in the afternoon on a Tuesday, well, what happens if it rains on Tuesday? Are we not able to be there on a Wednesday? And so what this does is it creates complications in your business that now all of a sudden you have to work around the customer's schedule. Because newsflash for everybody, the customer is not always right. Obviously, our job here is to serve them and fulfill. I mean, they're paying us, but not every customer is equal. If they start making demands on telling us when we can be there, or telling us how to do our job, or telling us how to run our business, not a good sign. It's a yellow or a red flag that's going to be coming up. Number 3, which I already just mentioned, but they tell us how to run our business. So this would be something like, you're telling me that you only allow credit cards on file? You need to accept cash. It's like, no, it's my business. It's our business. We're going to run it the way that we want to run it. We're trying to build an asset that can run without us, that we can impact people's lives, provide good jobs for people, create a good culture, pay them well, create an upward mobility, scalability company. That's why we don't accept cash. So we only accept credit cards. Well, that's how you should run your business. I've been running my own business for 5 years and we take Venmo, and great. But that's not our business. So don't tell me how to run my business. All right, that's number 3. Number 4 is going to be, don't pay on time. If there's one thing that can cripple a business, it's cash flow. Getting the money as quickly as possible after you do the service. Ideally, if you could get it prepaid, that's great. Most of the time, we don't do prepaid in lawn care, okay? We do billing same day, all right? And when a customer doesn't pay on time, their account gets paused. There's no more additional services that they get. And what happens is, on our admin side, now we got to go in there and pause each job and send them an email and say, hey, Susie or Mrs. Jones or whatever the name is, your card didn't go through. There was a billing issue. Please update your card so that way we can make sure that we resume your services and provide you with the highest level of quality possible. And so if you have a customer that continually each week the card doesn't go through, or they're 2 weeks or 3 weeks behind each and every time, by the time you get back there, it's an overgrown lawn again, and you're constantly having to charge an overgrown fee. Like, this just is not scalable. Like, if I had all customers like that, it just wouldn't work, right? Find the customers, go out there, replace that customer with somebody that pays on time, doesn't have any problems, doesn't call you a lot. Number 5, we're already on the last one. Wow. And this is something that I will not tolerate at all, is if a customer is disrespectful to our office staff. There have been a small handful of customers that has been extremely disrespectful. And what I mean by disrespectful to our staff is, they swear at them. They make them feel uncomfortable beyond a certain limit. And what I will not tolerate in my business is disrespect from a customer to our staff. Why? Because number 1, I'm not going to tolerate it for me. Number 2, I will stand up for my people. Their best interest is to serve the customer, be there for them. There's always going to be problems in business when you're dealing with employees and all that stuff, right? There's always going to be quality issues and things like that. It's our job to take the time out, go back, fix the problems, okay? We're never going to get rid of the problems 100%. There will always be problems. But the way that a customer approaches the problem, if they call us and start bashing us, or they start swearing at us over the phone or in person, we've had that before. Our estimator was actually out on a property, and the customer comes out and says, what the F are you doing on my property? It's like, hold up, you accepted a one-click quote and literally asked us to come out to the property. And so in scenarios like that, what we literally do, again, I'm not trying to create a drama-filled business. I don't need that stuff. I can go find another paying customer tomorrow. There's plenty of them out there. There's no shortage of them. What we typically do with those type of customers is we just send them a nice email and we say, hey, look, due to the interaction that we had experienced, we feel as though that we're not a good fit for you. And we're not going to be able to serve you to the highest level of standard that you deserve. And so unfortunately, we're going to have to recommend you to a different company. That's pretty much how we handle this stuff. I'm curious for you guys what your yellow flags are in your business. What are the red flags that you look at? Put it in the comments below right now. Let me hear it, because I'm curious. This is what we have found to be the 5 kind of big flags for us of signals when we need to know that we're potentially going to let the customer go. I'm curious to know what you have found in your business. So go ahead and put it in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that like button. Hopefully this helps. Guys, we'll see you in the next video.